Can you support a candidate in 2024 who's for suspending the Constitution?
Well, again, it's early. I think there's going to be a lot of people in the primary. I think at the end of the day, you will say whoever the Republicans end up pick, I'll fall in behind because that's...
Even if it's Donald Trump and he's called for suspending the Constitution?
Well, again, I think it's going to be a big field.
So there were a lot of words said there by Representative David Joyce, but the words I heard were not including, no, I'm not gonna support the guy who a couple years before the election is already talking about how if he gets in a mood, he can cancel the Constitution. It's a very easy response to give, one would think, difficult for Representative David Joyce, and George Stephanopoulos actually pressed him on that here.
I don't think Donald Trump's going to clear out the field like he did in 2016.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you, if he's the nominee, will you support him?
I will support whoever the Republican nominee is. And I just don't think that at this point he will be able to get there because I think there's a lot of other good quality candidates out there.
It's a remarkable statement. You'd support a candidate who's come out for suspending the Constitution?
Well, you know, he says a lot of things. You have to take him in context. And right now, I have to worry about making sure as a Republican governance group and the Republican majority that we make things work for American people. And I can't be really chasing every one of these crazy statements that come out from any of these candidates.
Okay, that would be convenient. The idea that it's an inconvenience for you to have to chase his statements. We're not expecting you to chase his statements. You can actually stay seated exactly where you are. We will bring a really concerning one to you, and then you have to reveal who you are. And I believe that he did, Brett.
You ever have someone who brings their dog over to your house and it won't stop barking and maybe it pees once someplace? And then you try to bring it up to the person and they're like, what do you want me to say? It's my dog.
Yep,
but instead of a dog, it's a Wolverine that has rabies and the house is a China shop. And he's like, essentially, I mean, this guy's essentially saying, don't make me say it, George.
Yeah.
Please. Well, and also, we've been through all of this before. Every single bit of this we have been through before. I can't say I'm not gonna support the nominee. We all know I don't want to support the nominee. We all know I didn't want to support Trump before. And people in that category include like Lindsey Graham, who said he is a terrible person multiple times on TV. And the stronger words we heard than that were from McConnell a few days ago when he said, when you go and have dinner with Nazis, that's not the kind of person that will be elected, that will ever and should ever be elected president of the United States. But they all know the game they're playing. They all know, as much as they accuse us of living in 1984, when we tell people, no, here's the words we actually want you to use and we want them to be accurate. They're the ones who can't say the thing they want to say. They're double talking out their butthole.
Yeah, not doing a good enough job of it that we don't come away with a very clear understanding of what he would accept. And George Stephanopoulos, I think, did a good job of not only asking the follow-up question, but stating clearly, here is what you're saying. What you're saying is a candidate saying that they can choose to cancel the Constitution will not stop you from supporting them. And that is true. He will still support that guy. And by the way, it's not even like he's laying out like, well, sure, I'll support this, but one step further and I'll stop. No, he said, I will support whoever the candidate is. So now you get to fill in your mind, dear viewer, how far can we take this thing? How crazy can we get? What could Donald Trump say that they could bring David Joyce back on George Stephanopoulos' show to say, well, yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna support Biden, so yeah, whatever. If he says he's gonna murder my family, then I'm still gonna support him. He says whatever, it doesn't matter. That he's perfectly happy with that, and that is far more worrisome. It's not that Donald Trump wants to do this. Donald Trump has no bounds. He will do whatever he is allowed to do in every single situation. That is a constant. It's been true for literally decades. The better question is, what will the context be? What will the bounds and the limits be, if anything? And he is presenting to us that they will be nothing. They're still too terrified of this guy to just say, I'm gonna vote for DeSantis, or to just say, he's gonna say whatever he's gonna say, and he's gone down a path I can't follow, and so I got a lot of stuff that I'm gonna be doing in the run up to the 2024 election. I'll probably be supporting other candidates. Just saying that you back off. I know he's not gonna stump for Biden. I get that, but he's saying he will support the candidate, whoever it is, no matter who they are, no matter what they do.
And the decision in the politics of the moment from people like Stephanopoulos, who used to work for Clinton and is obviously like a holdover, but definitely is like a former Democratic operative, and everyone else, is to figure out how you're gonna play this in the moment. It benefits you for your enemies to be infighting. So what you should, the question is, what do you wanna do? You're probably gonna just kind of hang back and try to message your most popular message at people who are overwhelmed by this, because when you go negative, which is what's about to go intense, go overboard in the Republican Party, you polarize, you shrink your electorate. People are just like, I'm out, this is too nasty for me. What the Democrats will probably do is swoop in with a positive message of the things that poll well. And if they don't do that, they're stupid. What they might also do is calculate what's gonna benefit them the most. Is it to kind of message and let Trump get away with it, and let people discover on their own how terrible he is without alienating the people who love how terrible he is? That's kind of like the dance that they're gonna be doing for a minute.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.